Imagine you're standing at the edge of a vast and powerful ocean. You see someone glide across a massive wave with a kind of grace that looks like magic. They move with such ease that you might think they were born with a special power. But if you look closer, you realize that every smooth turn and every balanced pose is actually a conversation between their mind and their body. Most of us spend our lives living mostly in our heads. We think about our jobs, our digital feeds, and our daily worries. We treat our bodies like a quiet machine that just carries our brain from one room to another. We assume that as long as nothing hurts, everything is fine. But as the years pass, we start to feel small changes. We might get out of breath more easily or find that our joints make strange noises. We realize that the strength we took for granted is slowly starting to fade. This is not just about getting older. It is about a deep connection we have forgotten. We are made of the very stuff that moves us, and it turns out that this material is much more intelligent and chatty than we ever imagined. To understand this, we must first look at the surface concept of what it means to have muscle. On the surface, we usually think of muscle in a very narrow way. We picture bodybuilders in a gym or athletes with massive arms and legs. We think of people like Arnold Schwarzenegger. This view makes us believe that muscle is only for a specific kind of person or a specific kind of look. We see it as something extra or even a bit vain. On the surface, building strength seems like a chore or a hobby that you can choose to skip. We might say we are brain over brawn people as if the two things are separate. We think of our muscles as just meat rubber bands that pull our bones around. But this surface view is very limited. It ignores the fact that muscle is a living tissue that is constantly communicating with every other part of our system. It is not just about how we look, it is about how we function as a whole human being. This leads us to a hidden assumption that many of us carry without knowing it. We often assume that our muscles are passive. We think they are just there to wait for an order from the brain to move a hand or a leg. The hidden truth is that our muscles are actually an endocrine tissue. This means they are super chatty. They are constantly releasing signaling molecules that travel through the blood to talk to our heart, our lungs, and especially our brain. We assume that the brain is the only boss, but the muscles are actually telling the brain to do beneficial things. When we use our muscles, they send messages that improve our mood and our cognitive health. There is a conversation happening under our skin that we never hear. Another hidden assumption is that we only need to worry about muscle loss when we are very old. But the reality is that we start losing muscle mass in our 30s. This is a normal part of life for everyone. We assume we have plenty of time, but the truth is that the person we want to be in our 70s is being built by the strength we maintain right now. If we look at the structural pattern of how growth happens, we find a very interesting metaphor. To build a muscle, you actually have to tear it. You have to stress the fibers by pushing them past their comfort zone. When the body repairs those tiny tears, it builds back stronger. This is a pattern of breakdown and rebuilding. It is a cycle of challenge and recovery. This same structural pattern applies to our character and our lives. We cannot grow unless we are willing to be out of our comfort zone. Just like a muscle, our personhood requires resistance to develop. We see this in the ocean too. The water has its own muscularity and energy. Surfing is a dance where you have to work with a partner who is sometimes much stronger than you. You have to wrestle with that energy to find your own flow. The structure of strength is not about a binary of having it or not having it. It is an ongoing process of discovery. It is about finding the vast reservoirs of potential that are waiting to be revealed when the moment is right. This allows us to reframe our entire perspective on physical fitness. We can stop seeing weightlifting as a way to get a certain body type and start seeing it as a medical necessity for a better and longer life. We can reframe strength as an act of independence. Being strong means being able to grab a can off the top shelf when you are 70 years old. It means being able to stay in the game of life as a participant rather than a spectator. We can also reframe the idea of stress. Instead of seeing stress as something that only causes damage, we can see it as the very thing that triggers growth. When we push against a heavy weight or a difficult wave, we are practicing how to be a more resilient human being. Strength, form, action, flexibility, and endurance are not just qualities of muscle. They are qualities we strive for in our character. By building our bodies, we are quite literally building our ability to handle the challenges that life throws at us. We are turning the struggle into a joyful manifestation of what it means to be alive and capable. Applying this to your daily life does not mean you have to become a professional athlete or spend all day in a gym. It starts with a simple change in how you view movement. Think about something that involves movement that you truly love. Maybe it is jumping rope or swimming or just being outside more often. The goal is to keep moving because that is what life is. We can apply the rule of lifting heavy to our own routines. This could mean choosing the stairs or carrying your own groceries to keep those signaling molecules talking to your brain. It also means being deliberate. When you do something, do it with focus and intent. Don't just flail around like a dog at a fire hydrant, try to find the grace in the effort. We can also practice the warm-up of life. Before we tackle a big challenge, we can prepare ourselves through small steps of resistance. We can learn to appreciate the goosebumps we get from cold or fear or extreme emotion. Those tiny muscles at the bottom of our hair follicles are a reminder that even our smallest parts are designed to react and protect us. We are a map of thousands of years of survival and strength. This deepening of our understanding helps us see that we are more than just our thoughts. We are a beautiful collaboration of mind and matter. We can find a sense of awe in our own potential. Even if you have never felt physically strong, you have a reservoir of strength waiting for you to tap into it. It might take 20,000 tries and 5 hours of effort to catch that first wave, but the victory is not just in the surfing. The victory is in the trying. It is in the willingness to be sore in places you didn't even know were muscles. This process of trying is where we find out who we really are. We realize that we are inextricably intertwined with our bodies. Our confidence and our mood are tied to the health of our tissues. By taking care of our muscles, we are taking care of our very selves. We can choose to be the person who leans into the challenge and finds the flow. We can celebrate the beauty of what the body can do rather than just what it looks like. This is a path toward a more vibrant and connected existence. Every time we move with purpose, we are celebrating the stuff that moves us. We are honoring the energy transfer that happens between us and the world. We are becoming more graceful dance partners with life itself. As you go through your next few days, pay attention to the conversations your body is having with itself. Listen to the strength that is waiting to be built. Remember that you are an ongoing process of discovery. You are not a finished product, you are a living and changing masterpiece of biology. You have the power to influence your future by what you choose to lift today. By embracing the work and the resistance, you open the door to a longer and more joyful life. You become an ambassador for your own health and a witness to your own amazing potential. If you could speak to the version of yourself that exists 30 years in the future, what physical ability would they thank you for protecting today by choosing to step out of your comfort zone and push against the heavy weights of life?